Okay, seems like I got all of that working. Hello everybody, and welcome to just a Minecraft stream. This is my own personal little server that I have, just for fun. I have built a few little things here and there. And I have not shown this on stream before, so there's that. What else I haven't shown on stream? Last time I streamed, I had my little spaceman that lit up. Now I have. I have this little guy. Look, it's a little computer friend. And he speaks when I speak. It's cool. Look at me. And that's not all. He even has different emotions too. I could be sad, or I could be angry, or I could be evil, mischievous. So that's something fun that I figure out how to do. I'm using a program called what's it called? Via YouTube. Oop, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Via YouTube or VideoTube or something like that, and using that, I've simply animated just the face. The little computer that I have is a gift that I made myself, so I'm happy with this. It's kind of a cute little thing, I have to admit. So, anyways, let's get into Minecraft. I'm already in game. Oh, then there's some poor frames. We're gonna get into Minecraft in a second. I'm gonna just turn off shaders. I actually haven't seen this world without shaders, so here we go. This is my hole so far. This is what I want to continue working on throughout this stream, but yeah. Oh, the sun's setting. My game is still losing a few frames here and there, but nothing new to streaming, just losing a few frames every so often. This is my chest monster. It's where I've been dumping things. Oh yeah, and let's sleep first. This is my little house base thing that I'm building. It's kind of a work in progress. There still needs to be glowstone that needs to be put into all these little holes in the ceiling and stuff. I can't stop looking over at Streamlabs. I love that little face. But yeah, I've been working on this. I've been trying to put in nice little gradients in it, like from the mossy cobblestone, this cobblestone, and then it goes up into tough up at the top. And in the little inlay, there's whatchamacallit, there's mangrove wood that goes into acacia, that goes into jungle. So it has like a nice little gradient in there too. It's very subtle, but I like it. I guess I could have I couldn't think of a fourth wood to go into. Maybe like oak or something. But it's already buried under a mountain of deep slate. And this has been something that's been quite a pain to build. I never realized how much building goes into building. You build so much. But yeah, it's a nice little place, and I haven't even explained what all this is. So originally, all of this area was a just a normal plains biome. Something but I gradually began to terraform it with starting with all these big spruce trees, mega taiga spruce, all these big trees over here, and I think it looks nice. So here we'll just walk in through the like kind of unofficial entrance, but yeah, it looks real neat in here. Past all the jungle trees. But yeah, I have my villager trading hall right here. It's a nice little hall. We have all my villagers here. We got protection 2, we got efficiency 5, fortune 3. This is only protection 2 because I couldn't stand going through trades after trades after trades. So he was the last one that I did, so I was tired of that. Has some cartographers and stuff there. This is my probably inefficient cactus farm because I think the cacti are like popping off and like hitting other cacti, so they're actually like deleting themselves. But I've gotten a few cacti from that. I made a farm on a different server that I think it works much better. Then again, I've also spent a lot of time AFKing on that server. So there's that. And this is my little starter house. It was just built into the cliffside here. There's another chest of junk sitting there. I found just a regular diamond ore, which is quite a rarity nowadays in modern Minecraft, because diamonds spawn way less frequently up in the stone layers. So finding that was kind of neat to see. Don't know what to show you in here, but I just have a bunch of chests. They're unlabeled, but they are organized. Like I have raw ores in here and normal ores here. I have a minecart that I use to transport villages around. Oh yeah, so I originally made this mine and immediately went straight into a giant cave, which is quite something. What's that over there? Looks like just a world hole. Yeah, it's just a hole in the world. Unless there's actually like a giant cave over there that I've missed. But yeah, this actually continues out through this way. So yeah, I have my little farms. There's a couple pigs over there. We have our cows and our sheep. I have vines all over the walls because, just because really. And I actually haven't had any animals escape except for the cows. For some reason, the cows are the only ones that are able to climb the vines, and I don't know why. It's been quite a mystery to me. the abilities of the climbing cows. Look, I don't get it. The sheep don't do it. The pigs don't do it. But the cows do. Well, sorry. For some reason I thought I saw a cow flying. And finally on our tour we have the iron farm, which I haven't checked since last time I turned it on. So yeah, we got a few little iron ingots in there. Sorry, that was a really that was a really brief check. But yeah, it's a pretty simple design. We have villagers up in that box, and we have these water currents coming in here. So iron golems can only spawn on these moss blocks in here. That's why this whole thing is one layer down from the moss blocks. And that's why these pumpkins have moss carpets on them, so that iron golems don't spawn outside the box. Oh, and the whole roof is covered in slabs. So we just want the iron golems to spawn inside the water, which I think something's happening to the villagers. Like there's something on the server that's causing them to just forget about being chased by the zombie that's locked in that box too. So it's not very efficient a lot of the times. I guess I could just like AFK near it for a long time. But yeah, that was a quick little tour of everything. It only took me 13 minutes. But I think I covered everything. I have been to the Nether. I haven't been to the end. Not on this world yet. But I think I might do that at some point in time. You know, gotta get a elytra to fly around. And for that, I would also need a creeper farm, which I could build in this giant hole that I'm making. I think that would be a good use of this giant hole. And I could make a really dumb creeper farm where I could just make a really dumb farm in general where I just have like a bridge going out into the center and then have mobs come at me and just have like some trapdoors be open so the mobs try to walk over and I just fall down into the pit. I mean, mobs are dumb like that, so I wouldn't put it past them. Okay, back into the pit where we started the stream. I think I might have fun and try to export this one as 15-minute clips, because I have a YouTube channel where it is my like stream VODs. I say that and I just passed the 15-minute mark, and so that sentence just got cut in half. It would be useful to me if I ever wanted to like edit these streams. I could also set up like selective recording, I believe it is. then I could use that to like record just my game. No audio from Spotify or overlays. I think that'd be a good idea. Anyways, we're just gonna dig this hole listening to some royalty-free jazz. Actually, I think this is all Kevin MacLeod. Yeah. So good old Kevin. Yeah, so if you don't know, Kevin MacLeod basically runs a website called Income Tech. And it is an amazing resource for like video producers. He has a lot of Creative Commons royalty-free music. Of course, you have to apply like an attribution to anything that you use it in, which is kind of hard when I'm in a stream. You could alternatively buy a license. I don't have a license. Which yeah. If I was actually like making money off of this, hold on. I just noticed. Oh, that's right. Hold on. There we go. I was just looking at the stream and I was like, wait, what's going on with the title up there? And I realized, oh, it's because I was just looking at Spotify and it kind of freaked everything out. So yeah, I'm mainly doing this stream just because I got this little computer fellow working. Beep boop. Look at me. I can talk. I also blink every so often. Look. I did it again. And we're gonna actually put stone in our offhand so that we can build that nicely. Fill that in. And I worked out the math on a whiteboard and found that I need, well, I get like 5 stacks of blocks every layer that I go down, which is pretty impressive. That is, well, it's not very impressive, 5 stacks of blocks. I mean, realistically, 5 stacks isn't gonna get you very far. I've put like dozens of stacks of blocks into building that little base that I showed you. My little castle. So yeah, while getting 10 stacks by doing this sounds like a lot. It won't get you too far, but it will get you far enough that it seems worthwhile. You know what I could do? I could play Marathon. I think that would be a neat stream. If you're not aware, there is a game franchise called Marathon, and it's made by none other than Bungie, the creators of Halo and Destiny. And the games are really kind of fast-paced. They are old Doom clones, basically. And it is one of Bungie's first well-known like games. And I've read a little bit of like the lore of the games, and it's just wacky. It has like eldritch abominations. It has alien slavers, cyborgs that are made from ancient alien parts, ancient alien like robotic parts, not like flesh. That'd be cool though. You come across like an old like life pod of an alien civilization, and you repair the aliens with like human cybernetics. I think that could make for an interesting story. But no, it's kind of the other way around. There was a big war out on some moon. I can't remember which one. But there was a big war that happened, and it created these things called the Battleroids that were basically humans that were nearly killed but put back together using this ancient alien machinery, and were sent back out to fight, and they just kept on getting killed and reborn time and time again, which kind of echoes Destiny, really. You keep on getting revived by an ancient machine. I mean, that is kind of the plot of Destiny. So yeah, you kind of just keep on. These Battleroids kept on getting killed and rebuilt over and over again, that they started losing all sense of like humanity. And eventually when the wars came to end, these Battleroids were outlawed, so none more were made because they were such like a human rights violation. But they weren't all destroyed. And so we'll put a pin in that one for a moment, and we'll talk about the marathon itself. So humanity was getting prepared to go explore amongst the stars. So to do so, they needed like a colony ship, and they got the bright idea to turn the moon Deimos into a spaceship and launch it out into the stars. There were people on Mars that weren't so happy about that. A little organization called MIDA, or MIDA, MIDA. You might, if you play Destiny, you might know of the MIDA multi-tool and pick up a little hint of that. Go, wait a second. I recognize that. And apparently that gun came from like an alternate universe, the Marathon universe, just like the Wastelander shotgun, which is an actual shotgun in Marathon. Yeah, it's real cool. Marathon is great. So, anyways, the Marathon's getting ready to launch, and there are 9 cyborgs that are accounted for onto the ship, onto the craft, the Marathon, and that's an important detail for later. These may or may not be the Battleroids that we were talking about. And it is kind of debated in the Marathon community whether you are or are not one of these Battleroids. Which I think it's debated. I don't know. I'm not that far deep into Marathon lore. My Silk Touch pickaxe is nearly breaking. But, so yeah, the Marathon is then launched out to Tau Ceti with 3 AI on board. There is, Leela, the AI that's like just there to keep everybody alive. There's Durandal that controls like doors. Just an AI that controls doors. So kind of looked down on him, but don't really, because he was made to go rampant by a MIDA activist who wanted him to go rampant, mind you, to try to get to a state called it's like perfected rampancy, or like rampancy, like an AI that's both rampant and not rampant at the same time. And rampancy is like, and it's just describing an AI that's reached its end of life and it's starting to think itself to death. Something that was carried over into actually Halo 4 of all things. Well, in Halo 4 it's the most prominent. It probably is popped up into the books and probably played a little more, probably was explained a little more in the books too. Knowing how 343 is handling things at the moment. But yeah, so an activist made Durandal go rampant, which probably not a good thing. So Durandal's going crazy. will start going crazy throughout the journey of the ship. And the ship has a third AI on it, Tycho. Tycho is the, like, I want to say it's like he's like the military command on the Marathon, and he is just doing some. He's just vibing for a little while until the Randall goes absolutely nuts. But that doesn't happen for a little while. The ship actually makes it to Tau Ceti and starts colonizing a planet while the Marathon is in orbit. So there's a nice little colony on the planet, and everything's going well. And then all of a sudden aliens show up. And that's like, oh, that's not good. So now these aliens, known as the Four, are a slaver species, which means that they go around and enslave other species to do their bidding. And one of their species is the Safit. And to be honest, pronouncing these names out loud, it's a little bit crazy. If you look them up, it's like SPH T or something like that. Or maybe it's T like apostrophe T. They have some, there's some really wacky names in there. But yeah, these aliens show up and they start just wrecking house. And it's up to this one security officer, the main character, which is most likely a cyborg because there's a terminal that says that there's 8 cyborgs accounted for on the planet out of the 9. So, hey, there's that going for that theory. But yeah, so you play as this security officer, and you basically single-handedly repel the whole entire like the initial invading party of the Four and Safit. And then you are knocked unconscious by Durandal, who has been going crazy this whole entire time. He's finally started losing it. He's finally starting to go rampant, and he at the end manages to like knock you out. And over the course, you also learn that it is Durandal that has brought the Four here, because he found out about the Four and was like, hey, they actually have some pretty good ships, you know, better than our crappy rock with engines strapped to it. So maybe I can, you know, call them over and hijack one of their ships. I don't really care about these human things anyways. And he grabs one of their ships with, I think it's our help that he does that. And he knocks us out and beams us aboard the ship. And that's pretty much the plot of Marathon 1. In Marathon 2, we learn that I haven't played these games, I've just read their like plots on the wiki. In Marathon 2, we awake to find that Durandal has taken us Oh yeah, another important thing that happened in Marathon 1 is that Durandal helped us start a rebellion of the Spit against the Four. And so the Spit are now like fighting against the Four, and it's a bit wacky. I think there's still some Spit that are aligned with the Four, but yeah, it's wacky. So Durandal has been doing some light reading on Spit mythology, and we come to the Spit homeworld to figure out about this mysterious 11th clan of the Spit. Apparently there are many different clans of Spit on the Spit homeworld, and even though they were enslaved. But there was an 11th clan that went missing. This clan is going to be pretty important, as they're like the main MacGuffin that we go after in Marathon 2. I forgot to replace this whole wall. So yeah, we are running around the Spit homeworld trying to piece together how to summon the 11th clan, because the Four are now at the Spit homeworld too, and they are not too happy about losing their super advanced slaves that can hack anything, really. And so we're now up against the entire empire of Four on this dumb little planet, and we're basically very much outgunned. And this is where we learn that the Four basically wiped out the whole entire colony on Tau Ceti. Yeah, it's not a happy ending for them, but they did kind of enslave some of the population, and they kind of recruited Tycho, who at the moment is very pissed off at Durandal for betraying humanity. So he was like, you know what, I'll cut you a deal. That Durandal fella, he kind of stole your ships, didn't he? Yeah, you want payback for that. I want to pay him back for, being a jerk. And so Tycho allies himself with the Four, and so Tycho's commanding a ship of the Four, and they're out to destroy Durandal and stop this rebellion. Durandal is quite concerned at this moment, but he's kind of not going insane anymore, and he's starting to be like, oh yes, I'm starting to understand things now. And then all of a sudden they release an AI called Thoth that turns out that's I think it's an Egyptian god, the name of an Egyptian god, but that doesn't really have a place here. And this AI is just obsessed with balance. So if we are winning, then it will help the enemies. If the enemies are winning, if the Four are winning, then it will help us defeat the Four. If the Four are losing, it will help the Four. It's kind of just a pain of an AI to deal with. And so we basically deal with this AI. We summon the 11th clan, and they help, and they start kicking butt all around the start kicking the butt of the 4, and Thoth is like, yeah, fine. That was made by these guys anyways. Why not help them out? I think that's what happened. I haven't played the game. I've read the crazy amount of lore that they have for it. But yeah, so everything is looking well, and Durandal gets captured, and then we save him out of like necessity, because we don't really like Durandal at this point either. He kind of kidnapped us, and yeah, he did leave. He did bring the 4, and he ditched humanity. So yeah. So now we have Durandal, and everything is going kind of well for us. And then the 4 unleash a weapon that blows up a star. The Spit Homeworld star, to be precise, while we were all still there. Oh, and Durandal does like carve like a message into the moon saying like, suck it, you dirtbags, to the 4, which kind of pissed them off too. So yeah, Durandal's being a menace to the universe at this point in time, and I haven't even explained what Durandal is even doing at this point. He figured out that the universe is going to end at some point in time, and that's the only thing that will basically guarantee his death. So he's trying to devise a way so that he can effectively live forever, and now he sees that we're all about to die because of this sun exploding device. So yeah, what was I saying? Durandal wants to be immortalized into the universe, to never die, so he's coming up with this strange concoction of an idea to, destroy a percentage of matter in the universe to bring about immortality for himself. But yeah, this device explodes the sun, and that unleashes the eldritch horror known as the working contactor. I'm just gonna call it the horror, and it basically destroys everything. The eldritch horror was actually entrapped inside the sun of this world by the ancient alien species, the Jaro, that the Battleroids are made out of. The same technology that the Battleroids are made out of. So we come around to that point, and now we're in Marathon 3, known as Marathon Infinity, and things get wild. Marathon 3 has you going through multiple different timelines or dimensions, trying to prevent the death of the universe. And apparently you're also making a combination AI out of Thoth and Durandal that will become the ultimate power of the universe. It just gets wild. So you're jumping from universe to universe. one theory that I came across was like, oh yeah, the Thoth Durandal hybrid is sending you through all these universes so that you can make the Thoth Durandal hybrid a thing. And it's like, what? And in every universe, something bad is happening. And this is like different types of bad. Like either the horror has been unleashed, or it could be something as dumb as Durandal was overrun. And you can't have a Thoth Durandal mixed up AI if Durandal isn't in existence anymore. So eventually, you like come across a universe where everything is how like the Thoth Durandal AI wants it, and the Thoth Durandal AI, it finally realizes, you know what? I don't care anymore. If the universe ends, the universe ends. It's fine by me, but there is one constant that kept on coming through. It is you, the player. You are like the destiny. You control the destiny of the universe. One little security officer can change everything. So I am amazed by you. You are the hero. You will always be around. You are Beowulf. You are... I mean, there was a huge long like speech where Durandal was just like, you know what? This is just not, this is crazy stuff that's going on here. I think I'm gonna, pass on the whole immortality thing. And Durandal just lets the universe go. He stays around until the end, and thinks of a new beginning, I guess. Now, people try to put like all these games in. There's a lot of stuff going on in Destiny that almost implies that marathon stuff is gonna happen. I saw this one post on Twitter the other day that was like, hey, what if in Lightfall what if in Lightfall the Traveler like breaks apart and reveals the marathon logo? And honestly, it's kind of hilarious. It's just so dumb. The whole story of Marathon is just a wild fever dream. Ooh man, my game lost a few frames there. I just spent like 30 minutes talking about Marathon lore. And I barely even talked about the Jaro, the ancient alien civilization that had technology that allowed people to basically come back to life as just mutilated cyborgs, or had the ability to contain an eldritch horror into a star. It is a wacky franchise. I love it. Should I put ladders on each cardinal face, cardinal direction? I think I might do that. Wow. back to digging a hole. I didn't realize I was so passionate about that lore. The lore of Marathon. That I could rant for like 30 minutes on it. Whew. Man, my throat, my mouth is kind of sore from talking that much. I am not much of a talker when it comes to like normal things. I also have a grin going from corner to corner of my face. I was having a good time there talking all about that. Whew. So yeah, all that just kind of happened in the Marathon universe. I'm just gonna call the AI combination Durandal from now on. Durandal was just like, yeah, patterns just keep on happening. There's heroes and villains that always come popping up, and they always come to mirror each other. And yeah, that was Marathon in a nutshell. The whole entire franchise. And after Marathon, Bungie went on to its most well-known IP, Halo. And there are quite a few Marathon references in Halo. For example, the Pillar of Autumn. I think Captain Keyes. No, the Marathon logo is visible on the Pillar of Autumn itself, and Captain Keyes has the Marathon sigil on his crest, on his suit. Yeah. Guilty Spark's eye is the Marathon logo. They really like putting the Marathon logo onto a lot of things. Cortana is... Okay, here's a neat little fact. Durandal is named after a sword. Cortana is also named after a sword. And these swords are actually like a part of a trio. The last one is Joyous. I think I've definitely butchered that one. But these three sword... Well, at least two of them have been referenced directly in Bungie games. The first one, Durandal, is... Well, Durandal. And the second sword is Kirtana, which turned into Cortana. And so you might be thinking, oh, there's a third sword, Joyous. Where did that go? Well, we don't know, but it was the sword of Charlemagne. So it was a sword that belonged to Charlemagne, and in Destiny there is a Warmind submind called Charlemagne that resided on Mars. So I think there was also something about like Charlemagne's vault or something. I can't remember that part of Destiny lore. Destiny has Bungie's really good at writing lore. They're actually surprisingly, they haven't had the best track record for writing story. See Destiny 1 Vanilla, but then again, they also come up with bangers such as the Halo 2 campaign. I really loved. Halo 1 had a pretty good campaign, which I think helped sell it. There's a whole lot of like new. You don't really have like quick shooters that had story to them. So once Bungie gets rolling on something, then they start getting better at it, telling its story. They can write a deep, rich lore, but tell a horrible story. Which, like I said, can be seen in Vanilla Destiny 1. It has, like, no focus. You're first on Earth, and then all of a sudden you're on the moon, and all of a sudden you're on Venus, and then all of a sudden you're on Mars, and there's vague... it's vaguely connected to each other. It's Destiny 1 Vanilla is basically an introduction to, everything in the game. So it's not very in-depth of what it shows you. Which I think is the weakest point of Destiny. Is that it tries to shoehorn like several destinations together in one like campaign. What Destiny 2 did better, but I still had a few problems with Destiny 2 Vanilla. Like, what was with Nessus? Nessus is the weirdest thing in Destiny 2 for me. I love Nessus. It's a beautiful planet. Guess Centaur asteroid thing. But it feels just so out of left field to me. I'm gonna turn all this stone into emeralds, and then probably turn those emeralds into bottles of enchanting. But yeah, Nessus does feel quite weird to me. Drink some water. Because it just appears out of nowhere. Titan at least makes sense because, well, Zavala is calling out, is saying, hey, we're going to actually rendezvous here and plan our assault. But then again, why not plan your assault on Earth? Why don't gather... Okay, I guess you wouldn't want to gather on Earth because then the Cabal would see what you're doing. On Titan, you're at least hidden by the constant storm. But then again, Titan is way out into the solar system, so they're gonna see you coming literally a mile away. In the EDZ, at least, you had the farm. Why not regroup there? Nessus was only introduced because Cade went there. And why did he go to Nessus? There was no real good reason. Was it just because he saw a bright, shiny new planet and was like, oh, I want to go there. It looks nice and shiny. I like nice and shiny. Okay, do you guys... Oh, I was gonna do math on how... on glass bottles. Well, actually, glass bottles might actually be profitable. But let's finish my thoughts. So, you know, now in retrospect, I think at least Ikora and Cade, their stories kind of like forced. I get that Cade didn't really want to be around much. He is a hunter after all. He wants to go out and explore. But he could have easily just gone to, you know, heck, he could have even just gone to Io because there are Vex there and he could have just been with Ikora. Ikora kind of was being a little bit of a baby. I don't get Ikora. And as for the whole story feels a little bit contrived in retrospect. Man, it was enjoyable and it did make a lot more like it was a lot more cohesive than Destiny 1 vanilla. I started playing Destiny 1 in I started playing Destiny 1 after Rise of Iron released. So I'm not that old of a Destiny player. I'm not an old school Destiny player like that. Is it 3 glass blocks to make bottles? How many bottles do you get? Hold on, there's a crafting table over here. I can look up the recipes. Bottle. So, 1 glass. You get 1 glass for 1 bottle. No, that's not profitable at all. Yeah, you lose so much on that. Okay, well, sorry, I was thinking, could I make infinite emeralds off of that? Answer is no. You can't really make infinite emeralds off of that. You can make profit of emeralds if you trade for glass panes, but you also need to have a good deal with the cartographers. So, okay, I was getting way off track there for a second. Yeah, so the vanilla games of Destiny 1 and 2 were just there to set up all of the locations that you can go to. Just a quick showcase of, wow, look at this. There's Vex here. Wow, there's Taken here. You remember the Taken? You love the Taken King. And so on. And then it released, then there was the release of the 2 one-off stories, the Curse of Osiris, which was met with a lot of really annoyed people like, what the hell is this? Personally, I kind of liked the Curse of Osiris story. I was like, oh, it's nice, short, simple. Mercury was really screwed over. You had the whole entire infinite forest and you just you didn't use it well. You had 3 whole like locations in the Infinite Forest that you could have used for things, and you could only access these locations if you did the adventures. And these locations were actually like decently sized, so it just begs the question, why? Bungie, why did you make such a horrible like thing? You could have had like the Infinite Forest be its own part 2, and it didn't even have to be like procedurally generated like it was in some of the missions. You could have had the Infinite Forest just be like a crossroads. I said like so many times there. It kind of bugged me. Yeah. Curse of Osiris was a scuffed up expansion. People complained that the campaign was too short. I thought, I bought the Forsaken pack, which came with Curse of Osiris, Warmind, and Forsaken, and that was a really good deal because it came out to like $10 for each of the two initial expansions. Warmind was it was cool. I liked the whole like all the Warmind aesthetic going on. All the Warmind stuff is really cool to look at, and like seeing Rasputin as a big glowing orange orb was kind of showed his power, really. But the expansion was short and kind of it wasn't kind of disappointing. It was disappointing. It brought up the like the top guns of the Hive, the worm gods, and then we killed it with a glowing spear. Not a magical spear like what you would expect to kill a god, just a glowing spear. And you know what? We didn't even have to use the glowing spear. I've ran that strike so many times. Nobody uses the Valkyrie, the glowing spear. Everybody just shoots it, and they kill a worm god just like that. The top gun, the biggest power in the Hive like mythology, just dead. And everybody was like, really? That's it? Oryx put up more of a fight than this puny, wretched creature. At least it brought us Escalation Protocol, which was an amazing feature and is so much better than the Altars of Sorrow, in my opinion. Wow, this is really just becoming Cosmo just reviews everything about Bungie. So yeah, let's just keep going. Let's keep on going over Bungie lore stuff. So, I guess we should go back to Destiny 1 real quick because we're missing a few expansions there. The Dark Below and the House of Wolves were the first expansions ever to Destiny, and yeah, it just kind of fleshes out what we had started with, which in my personal opinion should have really been like the kind of the base game. We should have had like, oh hey, welcome to the Cosmodrome. These are the Fallen. Here is an in-depth review of what the Fallen are. They're scavengers, they're tearing apart everything, and so forth. And then go and introduce the Hive, and then the Vex, and just have like cohesive stories starting to build up this universe around you. Like you're fighting the Fallen in the Cosmodrome, and you're like, so what's the deal with these other guys? And then like the next expansion would bring you to the moon and stuff. I don't know how you would get to from the moon. I guess you could still have the Exo Stranger like tell you about things. But yeah, I feel like the storytelling in Destiny 1 was kind of just mismanaged, for a lack of brain power going into this. So yeah, anyways, the Dark Below and the House of Wolves. The Dark Below, like I said, I started playing with at the end of Rise of Iron, and so I can just only say what I've heard. And what I've played. When I played the Dark Below, I just felt like it was supposed to be in the base game. like I was talking about, it feels like it was a necessary like expansion onto what's actually happening in the game. Like it's basically an expansion that shows, hey, Destiny, Bungie wanted to tell this story, but we ran out of time to put it in the game, so we'll just add it as content for you to download later, to buy and download later, which doesn't feel too good. Wow, this pickaxe is really taking a beating. I think we need to go get one of our clerics up to the ability to trade experience bottles. Max is pretty good. So yeah, those first two just kind of sucked for that reason, that they felt like they should have been like part of the base game and not something that you would have to pay for. But then again, I bought the collection of everything from the beginning to Rise of Iron. No, I got it as a gift, actually, a physical disc. And honestly, it was fun to play through all of it. Once it was all done, having the collection of everything, it was a fun game. Destiny 1, the collection, is a fun game. I will tell everybody to play it. Not you guys. Really? Oh, I didn't have my pickaxe out. Oh. You're gonna give me a discount. That's nice. Not you, though. You're not gonna give me a discount. How about now? Are you gonna give me experience bottles? Yeah, I'll take 12 of those. Okay. Let's see. We went over both of the first expansions of... You know, Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 have pretty similar experience in terms of collection of expansions, because the third expansion, or the first major expansion for both games, is the one that is one of the most amazing parts of the game. For Destiny 1, that is the Taken King, and that is a good expansion. It introduces a new location and ties in with the rest of the locations. You fight an epic war that continues on after the campaign concludes. Like, you will still fight Taken all across the system, and while it is kind of jarring for a new player to jump into the game and all of a sudden see a bunch of Taken, like, what the heck are these things? What's going on? Why is no one acknowledging these things? It's because they weren't in the game at that point in time, and so none of the characters will acknowledge the Taken until you get to the Taken King, which is something that they do kind of solve in the Rise of Iron. They preserve the new player experience while providing a finale for the older players, which honestly is quite respectable. They took the first location and they remade it. There are a few little ties into other places in the system, but it's mostly self-contained to the Plague Lands, which, yeah, it's a fairly decent it's a fairly decent expansion. I did enjoy it. You get the Kvostov, and because it was the one final hurrah for Destiny 1, they did a whole bunch of lovely things to the game. They did stuff with okay, I actually don't remember like everything that they did with Rise of Iron, but I think artifacts were added, and they basically just they had a fun time at the end of Rise of Iron. Bungie was happy with things. Okay, we went over Destiny 2 Vanilla, Curse of Osiris, Warmind. Let's see. Forsaken, that's right. That's what's next. Forsaken is an amazing masterpiece. It basically revolutionized Destiny 2. Destiny 2 was struggling at the beginning. You had shotguns in your heavy ammo slot, which was mind-blowing, and you had 2 primary weapons. It was crazy. I mean, you could have special weapons. They weren't always the best, but you could have them. And then Forsaken came along and everything changed. You could have shotguns were returned to their special weapon status. This kind of made the Red War campaign feel a little bit silly because Hawthorne gives you a shotgun, but then you get a rocket launcher instead because they needed to give you a heavy weapon. And they were like, shotgun's not a heavy weapon anymore. Except there is still a heavy shotgun. There's also heavy sniper rifles too. I think Darcy, Whisper the Worm, and Legend of is it Acrius? I was wanting to say Atreus, but I realized that's not right. So there are still relics from those days that are sitting in our exotics. But yeah, Forsaken was a major tone shift and gameplay shift for Destiny 2. And it featured some amazing destinations. Again, also self-contained, but now thinking about it, having self-contained stories is actually pretty nice to have. It helps differentiate the different places. I think that the seasons provide a good interconnected, holistic view of the Destiny universe at large, while the expansions are focused bursts of lore and stuff. The seasons are a slow burn of information, which the seasons are playing the role that if Destiny had seasons all the way back in Destiny 1 Vanilla, the first seasons would be definitely the Dark Below and whatchamacallit, the House of Wolves, that's right. So you would have the season of the Dark Below, probably have a better name than that, or in the season of Wolves, where you basically would do all that stuff. I could see that happening. And the thing I don't like about the seasonal model is that a lot of story gets cut out, at the end of the year, which, I mean, makes sense. You don't want to just have people download 100 gigabytes of just story that they might just never play because, well, a lot of the story kind of is an echo chamber and is very diluted over the 10 weeks or so that it plays out. Like, okay, you have to wait a week for another story. You know, if seasons were like half a year long or a third of a year long, if they were like longer and acting more like The Dark Below or House of Wolves, where it provides just like a story that gets permanently added to the game, I think that would be like a really good idea, because you can release like small DLC throughout the year, or just make stories and release them when they're ready. Just have fun. Which really kind of drives me up the wall that Bungie changed their like internal like quote from make games that we want to play, that make games that the Bungie developers want to play, to something like, oh yeah, I know that they changed it to something else, which kind of is weird that they did that, because do they not want to make games that they want to play, or they just wanting to make money? Has Bungie lost its soul? To some degree, I think that Bungie has lost its soul. It's lost a lot of like the original members of Bungie that brought us all the classics, like Halo and Marathon, that had some kind of little magic to them. But it's also gotten a lot of new members that have made amazing content. The Witch Queen was amazing. The Dreaming City was amazing. There's a lot of good stuff in Destiny that new Bungie has made. There's also a lot of meh stuff that they've made too. Some of their seasons have fallen quite flat. If I have to be honest. But then again, they're making 4 of these seasons a year. Like I said, they could probably cut down on the number of seasons that they have if they, in return, give us a bunch of really cool stories. That we get to keep. But then again, no one likes content droughts. And it takes time to make things. So while at least we're getting an amazing expansion every year, we're also losing out on like all the little things. Ooh, a water pocket. Oh no. Well, that's just... Okay, well, I guess we have to deal with this ravine here. And while we do that, we'll go on to the next expansion in the Destiny 2 franchise. The Shadow Keep. Like Rise of Iron, it wasn't really much of anything. But unlike Rise of Iron, it wasn't the end of Destiny 2, so there was a lot less fan service in that one. Then again, it did actually bring back the Cosmodrome, so I guess Shadow Keep and Rise of Iron have that in common. They both do something with the Cosmodrome, which in retrospect is kind of funny to see. But Shadowkeep was kind of disappointing. It had the nightmares, which were poorly explained, at least to me they were. It was like, oh yeah, there's these nightmares that are happening, and there's a pyramid below the moon surface. Ooh. And I was like, okay. I don't get why the Hive are like sacrificing nightmares, or how they're even sacrificing nightmares. Are they? Yeah. Personally, Shadowkeep is a mess. I don't understand it. And then it ties into the season of the Undying with the ending. And if you play Shadowkeep nowadays, you'll get to the ending and be like, what happened? What's going on? And nothing exists in game at this moment in time that will explain it to you. Because guess what? The relic is not mentioned anymore. And well, I guess they do have the ending where Eris is touching the statue and getting glimpses of stasis. So that's a cool little nod to the future. Wow, this ravine just keeps on giving. I wonder if I'll see any diamonds. There's a good chance that I will. But yeah. So yeah, Shadowkeep was kind of meh. There's not really a reason to buy Shadowkeep nowadays. It's kind of outdated and doesn't really do much. So the next major expansion for Destiny 2 was Beyond Light. Beyond Light was pretty good expansion. And it did kind of start showing Bungie's new like philosophies in action. It wasn't like completely... It wasn't full I want to say. It's like they pumped the brakes on all their like abilities real quick. They're like, okay, we need to start like rationing out all our manpower throughout the year. And so you can see like it feels like they were running on fumes, or they went into economy mode. That's a good way to say it. So Bungie went into economy mode and were just cruising along at this point in time. They were saving all their energy so that they can work on all the seasons and all of the upcoming expansions at once. Which, in retrospect, it kind of makes sense. They were realizing, oh, we can't spend all of our power working on the expansions when we have seasons that we also need to deliver on, which they kind of learned from Shadowkeep and its seasons, which were a result of a test during the Forsaken days, where they had Season of the Drifter and stuff like that. Season of the Drifter, the Forge, and of Opulence. And those three initial seasons were pretty well liked by a lot of people. And so I guess Bungie thought, hey, everybody liked those seasons, so why don't we make more seasons? And realized, oh, hey, we lost access to all of our lovely friends at Activision Blizzard after we left them. A little bit of an oopsie. They kind of showed all the stuff that they could have done with seasons of the Forsaken seasons, and they were like, oh yeah, we can't really deliver on that kind of stuff anymore, so yeah, Bungie kind of just got screwed itself over in the end. You put a grass block at the bottom of my hole? Hey buddy, are you gonna pick that up? You gonna pick that up, buddy? Yeah, you. Yeah, what's up? Huh, punk? No, just don't just stand there in the corner. Pick up that block. Come on, mate. Do it. Pick up that block. Look. Ooh. I'm being nice here. I want you to pick up that block. What a jerk. Anyways, let's continue talking about Destiny. So we got Beyond Light, and Bungie's starting to run on economy mode, which perfectly fine. They are out on their own now again, and they now have to prove themselves worthy of like continuing working on all this stuff, or else they will literally sink under the pressure. So they deliver some interesting seasons. Season of the Hunt was kind of tangential to everything, but it brought Crow into the fold. then there was, I can't remember it was the one with, it was the Battlegrounds, right? I think so. Yeah, it was Keitel and the Battlegrounds. I forgot what that one was called. I think it was, yeah, it was Season of the Chosen, I think. And then there was another one. Was it Season? No, Season of the Worthy was back in no, it was Splicer, that's it. It was the Season of the Splicer with the Vex Network and all that stuff. And then it was the season with the Awoken and Savathun reveals herself. Magic powwow. So we get Savathun, we get all that stuff all set up, and yeah, those seasons were pretty good. I've realized I haven't talked about the Shadowkeep seasons. They were kind of meh. You had some good ones in there, like was there any good ones? I kind of liked the Undying season, mainly because I liked the moss-covered cloaks and stuff. I'm a fan of just kind of organic armors. I'm also a fan of a lot of the Destiny 1 armors because those are really cool looking and they're made from like the enemies like armors and stuff. You have a hunter helmet that's just the head of one of the strike bosses. So yeah, Destiny 1 had some pretty cool stuff going on in it. But yeah, the Shadowkeep seasons weren't the most like polished. I think it was at this point that this was Bungie's first expansion by itself. So yeah, you really shouldn't have been expecting much from it. Now, then we get to Witch Queen. My mouth is starting to get tired. I wasn't expecting to talk this much. So we're at Witch Queen now, and that's kind of currently where we are before Lightfall. And Witch Queen was an amazing campaign. It really like sucked you into, okay, so what the heck is happening here? There are Hive and they're using the light? What's going on? I felt like they could have jumped into the like mystery aspect a little more. Okay, maybe I'm not justified in saying that, because it was kind of a shock as we went through the campaign, learning a few of these secrets, like, oh, interesting. So there is like a main voice in the darkness that's basically controlling the forces of the darkness. And Savathun kind of helped like stop our collapse. Not intending on helping us, but instead of helping the Traveler. And oh yeah, the Traveler actually chose Savathun. She didn't steal the light. She didn't trick the Traveler. She basically just said, "Hey, I've changed. Can I have some light, please?" And the Traveler's like, "Yeah, cool." So that's that. And then there's the big revelation of, oh hey, the worm gods are actually like tricked the hive into being their servants. Like, oh hey, yeah, Savathun's not really vibing with that. Yeah, Savathun really didn't vibe with that after we, broke into her mind and showed her the memories of a worm. Oh, don't hit me in the hole. So yeah, Witch Queen was an amazing experience. Then we get to the Witch Queen seasons, and they've actually been pretty good so far. But to be honest, I've kind of had a little bit of burnout with Destiny, as have a lot of people. This current seasonal format is a little bit tiring because it feels like we're going over the same... We're walking down the same road like every time. It's like, oh yeah, there's something that's going to happen here and here, and this is just another Menagerie remake, which at least the seasonal activities do change a little bit and are like replacements for activities that were removed in the previous year. I'm so glad they didn't bring back the Seraph rocket one, because that one was a pain to get going. Everything that's important to progressing stuff is all match made, so that works well. And they make it up to 6 players too, so it doesn't feel like you're like the weak link of everything. Oh, I forgot to repair my pickaxe. So yeah, the Witch Queen seasons have been pretty good so far. I'm just kind of burnt out of them. Oh, sorry. Just a little bit of burnout. I played a lot of Destiny. And even though my cousin, he started playing Destiny before me and has had a lot more experience in it than I have. I've actually played more hours than him, and when we found that out, he was like, "What? Why? What's wrong with you? How did you do that?" This is not where I repair my pickaxe. So yeah, there's that. I've only ever done one raid in Destiny history. What was I doing? What am I doing? Who am I? What's going on? Hey, anybody out there? I'm losing my mind. So yeah, going into the future, we have Lightfall coming up in a couple weeks. Oh man, it's actually going to be in a couple weeks. Actually, a few weeks. In a couple weeks, it's my birthday, which, yay! I'm going to go home and eat cake. I think that's a good way to spend a birthday, eating cake. Also, I did all the lights in this room. I just need 3 more glowstone. So I'll grab the glowstone and I will grab some bottles of enchanting. Not you. I'm actually gonna buy from you. 1, 2, 3. Give me some of those. Sure, I'll buy an ender pearl off you. Wow, that hardly made a dent in it. I guess I'm gonna have to grab some stone. Actually, what else do you guys buy? You buy diorite? You buy andesite? You buy neither. You buy granite. So at least I can get rid of some of these dumb blocks that I won't probably use. I think the most, well, at least the diorite. I can get rid of the diorite. Who really likes diorite? Oh yeah, I've plenty of diorite. Well, let's grab some stone too. So yeah, man, this stream is just I went on about marathon lore, and then I went on to criticize and compliment every Destiny expansion. I guess, yeah. Yeah, Destiny has had quite a run. Has had quite a run going on. Oh yeah. No. Well, let's get this guy up to max level real quick, so that he can trade me some bottles of enchanting. Well, I guess it wouldn't be harmful to indulge in some suspicious stew. Let's see, what does he have for us? Oh, you know what? I should be going for golden carrots. Actually, I think pumpkin pies are better at this point in time. Let's see. You bastard, you poisoned me. Let's see, what else? Was that just a bowl of saturation? Oh well, I have 2 bowls now. I'm debating if that's worth it. 27 diorite for an emerald. It's not much of a deal, my dude. Well, what I could do is buy blocks of quartz off you. And then the next day, he will reduce those prices. That's how bartering works with villagers. The lights that I have up here are so much more compact, so they provide a lot more light. Oh, and I got my 3 glowstone. I can go put that upstairs. I think I might farm some wool and make like a little tent up here. Yeah, this is... it's time to sleep, I guess. Oh. Man, I was intending this to be a very short stream, and I was gonna just eat dinner. No, I just had to talk about basically Bungie and their origins and their current state. Bungie definitely has changed over all the years, and I think I might call that for this stream. Just call it here. And look at that! My little avatar actually continues to exist on this stream too. And if messages are put into chat, it kind of looks like I'm looking at them, or maybe just looking at you, the viewer. Look at me. I am in control now. No, I'm just messing around. Oh man. I am mentally tired right now. I need to eat dinner. Let's eat dinner. What should I eat for dinner? I could have fish sticks, or I could have what else do I have? I know that I don't have milk or cereal for tomorrow morning, so I do have Eggo waffles. I also have, well, I need to save some of those eggs. Let's see. Let's see, let's just debate, what should I eat for dinner? There's lots of things to eat for dinner. I have honey barbecue chicken bites. Those are pretty good. I have what else do I have? Well, this is derailing the stream a little bit. I have top ramen, chicken flavor or beef flavor. I have chili. I have cornbread. I think it's too late for me to make cornbread. I have spaghetti. I can make spaghetti. Um, I have a single chicken pot pie that's hidden at the back of my freezer that's been there for like a couple months at this point in time. I'll be honest, I'm really slow to eat all those chicken pot pies. My mom bought me at Costco like months ago. She bought me a 8-pack of chicken pot pies, and that's the last one of them. I've had chicken pot pies for months that I hadn't eaten. Oh, I have a salad, a bag of a salad mix, just the classic garden. Maybe I'll have salad and blue cheese. That's a dinner. And it's healthy, so can't really yell at me for that one. Oh. Oh, I'm so tired. My face is so tired. I have a midterm that I have to do by Wednesday at 2. For some reason I chose to do a theater class. I'm a senior in an engineering program, and I'm taking a theater class, Theater 101. It's just so out of the blue for me. You know what? No, I'm not gonna thank you for watching. Not at this point in time. Text. Open that. No, we're just talking here. Yeah, we're just losing our collective mind. My collective mind. So, yeah, I'm taking a theater class, and we had to like design a scene for a play, and I luckily chose to be the set designer. One poor fella in our group had to be stuck being the hair and makeup artist. So he was like, "Oh, what the heck do I have to? What do I do with this?" So I'm happy, and we decided that, hey, because this is a fantasy play and we're playing with the ideas of perception and reality, that the fantasy section should be set in the year 65,000 AD, and we're in a bouncy castle. I'm also going to add that we're in space, but it's a fantasy, so it doesn't really matter. So I have to design the set. Someone has to design the costumes, someone has to design props. We're not making these real things. We just have to like draw a picture of what the set should look like and answer a few questions about it. But yeah, I think it's gonna be funny because we also only talked for 20 minutes, and we're like, okay, see you guys Wednesday, I guess. So, well, actually, I don't think any of us are going to show up on Wednesday because we were told, hey, if we figure this out and we all submit an assignment, then we're good. So she's going to get a bunch of the pieces of our midterm together and be like, what's none of this is cohesive. I'm expecting someone to like write like one sentence answers to their questions, and another person to answer like multiple pages of it to their questions. I think I'm having top ramen for dinner. I think I'll go for the chicken. I like the beef, so I'm gonna save it for later. I think, hot take, I think beef top ramen is better than chicken top ramen. I just like beef better than chicken. It's always seasoned better. It's still a lot of sodium. Lots of salt. Salt going into your veins. Oh. Yeah. And I'm only taking 2 classes this quarter. It is relaxing. Have you noticed how many streams that I've been doing? It is amazing. I'm enjoying myself. I am also a year behind everything because I failed one class a year ago, and that caused me to spend this whole year here at college. And that's a lot of money. Luckily, my parents figured that stuff out a long time ago. And I also figured that stuff out a while ago. I don't spend a lot of money, really. Except nowadays, when things are so expensive to live. Okay, let's not talk about that stuff. Let's get back to talking about what else I'm doing. My other class, I am making mycelium composites with urea formaldehyde and polyethylene glycol. And it sounds very scientific, but our methods are not very scientific. We're just mixing together this resin and then spreading it over a sheet of mycelium that was grown by another team. We have no real data at the moment, so there's that. And by the sounds of it, the whole entire project and all of its auxiliary projects that come off of it are all in chaos. It is amazing that things are actually moving forward in that project. And it all stems from a board game company wanting to make more environmentally friendly board pieces, which is actually very good for them. Good for them. They're being environmentally conscious, and they're also thinking of alternatives to using normal chipboard or particle board, and instead looking at mycelium, which grows pretty fast and will help deforestation and stuff. So all in all, they're actually doing some pretty good stuff. Unfortunately, what we have to do is really annoying to do. We are stuck with the tedious part of it all, which is getting it all to work. They just had to simply come up with the idea, and had our faculty approve it. All in all, it's an amazing idea. It can have probably more applications outside the use of game board pieces. But yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling on about this because if they ever heard me, they probably would not be too happy with me saying that this project is painful. So yeah, thanks for watching. Uh, I have been the Cosmonaut, and you've been watching my Twitch. See y'all next time.